In Northwest news, lawmakers return to Olympia to start a new session with a new deficit and a shift of power in the Senate. The state is facing a budget shortfall of roughly $1 billion for the next 2 years. The 105-day legislative session began today against a backdrop of new coalition that is expected to seize power in the Senate. Democrats have a small majority in the Senate, controlling 26 of the 49 seats, but two Democrats, Senators Rodney Tom and Tim Sheldon, have announced they'll work with the chamber's 23 Republicans in a new majority coalition caucus. That new caucus holds a 25-24 advantage. Outgoing Governor Chris Gregoire is set to give her final speech tomorrow, and Governor-elect Jay Inslee will be sworn in on Wednesday before giving his inaugural speech. Federal fisheries managers are proposing to designate critical habitat for two threatened species of fish. NOAA Fisheries said it wants to designate about 2,300 miles of freshwater habitat in Washington and Oregon for lower Columbia River coho salmon. The agency is also proposing about 1,900 miles of critical habitat in Puget Sound for steelhead. The lower Columbia River coho is listed as threatened under the Federal Endangered Species Act in 2005, while the Puget Sound steelhead were listed in 2007. Once critical habitat is designated, federal agencies must make sure their actions are not likely to destroy or adversely modify critical habitat. NOAA is accepting public comments on the proposal until April 15th. A federal judge is declining to halt construction of a new explosives wharf at a naval base in Kitsap. The Navy said the new wharf is needed to help handle Trident nuclear submarines, but two peace groups and the Suquamish tribe filed separate lawsuits last year. They are arguing that the Navy withheld information and that the $715 million project would allegedly violate treaty fishing rights in Hood Canal. U.S. District Judge Ronald Lighton in Tacoma declined to issue a preliminary injunction blocking the construction. In an opinion, he stated the Navy appeared to have satisfied relevant environmental laws and that the Suquamish tribe failed to show that the construction would affect rights to fishing. Snow has fallen across the state this winter. It is pretty unusual for Seattle to get snow, yet a lot of people in Western Washington found a way to have fun with it, and that means a really big snowball fight. Here with the story is Ryan Lancaster.
Seattle celebrated Snow Day with nearly 6,000 people taking part in the world's largest snowball fight. The city competed against the Republic of Korea's Guinness Book of World Records title set in 2010 of 5,327 snow fighters. Seattle organizers say 5,834 people took part in their event. The record attempt was certified by Guinness Book of World Records observers. The snowball fight was held at the Seattle Center outside the EMP Museum, where organizers trucked in 162,000 pounds of snow from the mountains and sold more than 6,000 tickets for the event to upset the Korean record.
Nothing like a good snowball fight. An unsecured karaoke machine caused Eastern State Hospital to lose its accreditation last month. That's according to a new report released by the Washington Department of Social and Health Services after a public records request by the Spokesman Review. The suspension of the Medical Lake Psychiatric Hospital's accreditation came a month after one patient strangled another patient in November. The new report cites the karaoke machine's unsecured cords, as well as other cords and a patient's belt, as hazardous to patient safety because they could be used for strangulation. DSHS spokesman John Wiley says the potential for hazards were addressed within 72 hours of the hospital receiving the report. He says the hospital has appealed the December 21st ruling and expects to be reaccredited. That's going to do it for everyone here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.